Okay, part two. And a lot of people think just like witches and spirituals eat babies and they do this and they believe in demons and blah, blah, blah. I believe that if there's one side of the coin, there has to be the other. So, a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't believe in God." That is so not true. Without God, we cannot be. With whatever you want to call it, by any religious name, tribal name, whatever, something bigger than yourself. If the ocean exists, then I exist because I am a cup of the ocean. So therefore, it has to be. The negative side has to be, or else how would we have choice? You know. Anywho, so it's like this. You come home from school, work, whatever. No, I didn't go play because we weren't allowed to go to other people's houses. That's how shit gets started. So just don't go. And I didn't go to friends' houses until I was 13. We moved to the rich white neighborhood. And then I was allowed to go visit other people from school. And a lot of people, my sister, she never used her gift. She hated it, was afraid of it, never used it. I'd rather use all 8 clairs, psychometric, blah, 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 5 others, I'm blessed to have and know what I have and know how to use it. Therefore, I teach the same class my granny taught me, Angels, Teachers, and Guides course. Yes, it's in the Linktree thing. It's just like physical life. Now, if I'm afraid of you, why would I let you know that? If I'm afraid of you, why wouldn't I want to sweeten the deal, add a little sugar to it? So, dude that was in my house, I'm sure it was a guy who died in bed. So I've been told by neighbors. Come to find out, John told me he was moving the washing machine so that Spirit could get his ball from underneath the washing machine. That was just the other day, though. Anyway, it's not as scary as you think because you learn balance. I learned the first thing I do in the morning is, say my prayers and be thankful, grateful, whatever you want to call it. And I say protection before my eyes are open, And you say, well, how do you know something is for you versus somebody else? I know because I've been doing this for 59 years. I know my grandma, Nana, is not your Nana because they're going to show up different in my third eye. Okay? There's really, just like, landlord, mom, boss, it's all the same kind of fear. And what do we need to be afraid of? Nothing. Go get another job. Move. Associate with different energy. And the biggest thing of all, of course, every girl wants to know, is Bobby, when are we going to get married? Never. What do you mean? First of all, he don't even like you. Second of all, you're not even in his energy. We attract what we are. If you're beer, you're not going to attract champagne, honey. You're not going to attract a football player who makes millions and billions of dollars because you still have a poverty mentality. Just like I did for a long time right before I moved here. Sometimes. Of course, when you're couch surfing, it's easy to have that mentality, which I did when I was couch surfing for 5 years, waiting for my disability to kick in. Yeah, sorry about that. My brother still hasn't called yet. And you, just like going to school. First grade, second grade, third grade, first, so forth and so on. And university. Now I'm a professor. I teach spiritualism. How to use your gifts. What are your gifts? So no, I'm not afraid. At this point, I pretty much don't fear anything since I got over my fear of snow 3 years ago now, August 5th. And I don't like spiders, but I'm not going to kill them. I'll just scoop them and put them outside. I'm not afraid of, that spirit that was here. Like, I'm not afraid of any other spirits that were in any of the places I lived, especially the ones that would come around talking to me so I could give messages to whoever I was renting a room from. Those days were fun. And no, I'm not like a Teresa Caputo. Okay, I did it twice in my life. Because I don't know. Okay, maybe this will be 3 videos. I'll share my video on how I had my testimony. Because you can't have a testimony without a test. I said you cannot have a testimony without a test. So it's just like anything else. You learn and grow, you learn and grow, you learn and grow. I had my experience. I hated it until I decided to stop hating it. I believe that's a lot of humanity's problems. We're so afraid. We keep attracting it and attracting it and attracting it. Like, how come he's still me? Because you keep attracting it. You want to be attracted to and have bad boys. Well, there you go. Except bad boys nowadays are dressed like, proper journalist or fireman or lawyer. And you think, oh, good, this one's going to be a good one. No. You have to feel it out, talk to God about it, and see what's what. And mainly go with your gut. The gut has no positive or negative ions. And that's why I always say, let me open the window to get some negative ions to create positive energy. That's my cinnamon. What do I look like cleaning up something else? Just creating work for myself. No, that doesn't work for me. And then you learn to be less and less and less and less afraid because you're building your protection up, your energy, I don't know, some people would call it, time with God. And you say, God got my back in all areas. That's a given for me. That's a given. That's automatic. I know God got my back. I ain't fearing that much, on any level of life. So just like anything else, you sit, you pray. And that's why I tell my students, when you sit down, you protect and ground. We can do all of that sitting on the toilet. That's why you set the baby outside the door, close the door, give them a crayon, a sippy cup, a piece of paper, and a cracker. It's good for their lungs to cry a little bit. A little bit. Don't write to me about that. I don't want to hear your shit. We need to raise our children to be more responsible so that when they get 13 and punch you in the face, you don't have to say, oh, but he's a good kid. And then when he's 18, he's trying to, just because you didn't teach responsibility. I do understand that a lot of this is just in them for whatever mechanical reason. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. Okay, so shut your mouth and don't write me no shit. What else? People say, oh, you don't believe in the Bible? I believe in all the Bibles. Because mainly I believe all of them are telling the same truth, just in a different language. Same as I believe you can't take one and interpret it into another language to mean exactly the same thing. You can feel free to write in the comments about that. I don't think I can say, oh, ¿cómo estás, mi cielo? ¿Cómo fue tu día? What the hell do I look like walking up to a strange white man saying, hello, my heaven? Google it. Mi cielo. M-I. M-I. It's 2 words. Okay, mi cielo, my heaven. Let's see, now I can't even remember the other or of the after my heaven. My sky. That's it. My heaven or my sky. You go, Tasha, why are you calling me the sky? But in Spanish, it makes sense, huh? And I'm willing to be wrong. I don't have the desire to be right. I just have the desire to be heard. And if obviously this isn't meant for you, as everybody likes to say in the beginning of their videos, then you just keep scrolling, right? In the meantime, I'm still going to teach love, peace, prosperity, and all those things that you think are just in your head and made up, and the plant was there yesterday and today it's over there. It makes sense somehow, some way, some form. That feeling you get before you went into the thrift store and then there's a guy there with a pew-pew, you had the feeling, why didn't you listen to it? You had the feeling not to go home this way. You had the feeling to turn right instead of left, but you didn't. What is that called? I don't believe in coincidences. What is that called? May as well use them.